Hi there! Thanks a lot again for attending the webinar, the Mental and Emotional Wellbeing Kit for the Coronavirus Crisis. It was a pleasure having you all there. During the webinar, you all were very active on the chat, asking an abundance of questions. We already tried to answer as many questions as possible, though I know that due to time constraints, we didn't answer all of them. For that reason, we want to answer all the questions that we didn't answer or didn't answer thoroughly. If you have any other question, please feel free just to reach out to us, and we'd love to support you in your journey of growth.
During the webinar, I only had the chance to introduce myself, but I won't let Jasper steal the show again. In this video, we will both be answering your questions. That said, let's jump in and check out the first question. Why am I feeling so much more tired than normal? So your daily routine has changed completely. Your brain has been forced to get rid of old habits and automatic behaviors. Now it takes more effort to go about your day because you have to consciously think about what you're doing. Maybe you need to plan more or communicate more in this current situation, and that costs you more mental energy. In addition, you need to process the extra stress you're experiencing within yourself and in your environment.
Exactly. So, carrying on with the second question. Why do I start spiraling in these times? And what can I do about this? It is really very normal that you feel a little down in this abnormal time. All our convenient routines and activities are completely disrupted. Because of the changing nature of our living environment, we can be overwhelmed by stress and anxiety. We tend to reinforce these thoughts through our negative self-talk. I need to work from home and I simply don't feel productive working from home. I cannot keep up with my usual work schedule. This crisis is ruining my career. Really, we start spiraling into unrealisticness. And to top it all off, we don't have our usual sounding board near to us, our family, our friends. So, but what can we do about it? I would really advise to monitor your thoughts closely in these times. You could keep a journal, for example. When you detect signs of spiraling, challenge yourself on paper. If it isn't sufficient, schedule video chats with friends and ask them specifically that you want to talk about this. This prevents you from merely having a casual talk. These times are tough for us all. Be really aware of that and don't shy away from showing vulnerability and ask people for their help. This can be an enabler for strengthening your relationship with that person.
Great points. So, continuing with the third question, what helps you to feel like you have had a successful day? I try to set daily goals and schedule tasks. When I can look back on my to-do list for the day and most of the items have been crossed off, I get a sense of satisfaction from that. But be kind to yourself and don't feel bad if not all the items have been completed. In this situation, we need to be flexible and allow for unexpected things to happen. Even if you just put one task on the list and you complete it, this counts as a successful day.
Fair point and 100% true. Continuing with the next question. Does meditating make you feel calmer? I always love it when people try to draw a causal effect between meditation and calmness. That positive effect is only there if you practice meditation consistently. Meditation is not a thing that you can toggle on or toggle off. By investing in it, you build up the skills to master your brain and hence your thoughts. The recurring practice is really key to let it make you feel calmer. I started meditating more frequently and routinely after my visit to monasteries in Nepal when I lived there. That was about 8 years ago. So, am I an expert in meditation now? No, definitely not. There have been moments when I incorporated meditation really well into my life. However, those moments alternate with relapses when I lack the inner peace and vigor to meditate. What I learned is that meditation brings me a lot of calmness. Despite it still being a challenge, really like any routine to incorporate in my life, I am convinced that I should keep pursuing to incorporate it in my life because it really brings me that calmness. If you decide to practice meditation, it could be an idea to go on a retreat or take a course to really familiarize yourself with it. Next, really try to build a habit around meditating. Assign a moment in the day to meditate. I prefer to do it after lunch, for example. Then we meditate together. It helps you really to live in the now, and the positive effects of meditation are really numerous. Finally, I would advise you to really build it up steadily. Start meditating for 2 minutes and build it out to 15 or even 30 minutes.
Great, thank you. Jumping on to the next question that was already partially answered by Amplioer, who goes by Blind Minstrel. So they were wondering about the sentence, "Screens make you unhappy." But why is that? So, watching screens doesn't actually make you happy or unhappy. However, as a consequence of the rise of our digital media society, we sometimes have way too much screen time. Our bodies and minds haven't received enough time to fully adapt themselves to that amount of screen time. Blind Minstrel clarified that excessive screen watching can result in eye repetitive strain injury, or RSI. And RSI is a gradual buildup of damage to muscles, tendons, and nerves from repetitive motions. That means that if you are fixated on your screen for too long, you can actually stress out your eye muscles. I want to emphasize here that watching screens does not make you unhappy per se, but that excessive screen watching can result in physical and mental injuries. For one, watching screens is addictive, so screen time reduction tools are now being used more and more. You have actually several free tools that can help you with this. If you feel that you need to cut down on your screen time because it affects your physical, mental, or emotional health, I would recommend exploring these applications. For one, they've helped me tremendously. Also, both of us have been leaving our phones downstairs before going to bed upstairs to cut down on screen time at night. We feel like it's had a massive positive effect on our sleep and also our relationship, because now we can talk and read in bed instead of staring at our phones all the time.
Absolutely, it helps really massively. It brings so much inner peace and just to be more together and live in the now.
Yeah.
Okay, over to an important question and one of Amplio's specialties. What would be your best tip for reducing anxiety? Really? There is no best tip to reduce anxiety. There's not a silver bullet that will lead the way to an anxiety-free life. Anxiety is really a many-headed beast. You don't overcome all the anxieties in your life by following one tip. Anxiety will always be that voice that you cannot magically gag. Though there's a wide range of techniques that you can utilize to counter those anxious thoughts. Techniques that can turn those anxieties into motivators. Techniques that let anxiety become your friend instead of your enemy. But how to do this and how to use these techniques? You can check out our online course. The link is in the description below.
So, that concludes this video. Thank you so much again for attending the webinar and asking so many great questions.
Absolutely.
And thank you for tuning in today. We hope you learned something new, or that this video made you realize that you are not alone in this. We are all experiencing uncertainty, anxiety, and doubt during this crisis. Let's get through it together.
You're great.